accidental citizen. Rather an apt track discussion for today, because this is our final day of accidental citizenship. We are finally leaving our adopted country, Brazil, today, after being here since March, and it's quite an emotional day because we've had such a warm and welcome reception here in Brazil, even in the middle of a pandemic. But back to the track. It was, I called this Accidental Citizen because basically in reference to the fact that we found ourselves in this situation in Brazil where we couldn't get out, and we were, the Brazilian authorities actually had an armistice on tourist days, the normal 90 days, and didn't actually count the days in. So I sort of jokingly said to Alex, Alexandre, my good friend and producer, in the studio, I said, I've become an accidental citizen. And it was one of those, well, that would make a great title for an album, track, book, whatever. So I was in April in Londrina, little London, and we found this house to rent. And my way of dealing with the anxiety and not knowing what was going on with the situation was to do something very positive, and that was to write a tune. In fact, I ended up writing two, Survival of the Fittest and Accidental Citizen, which were these initial pandemic tracks. And obviously Survival of the Fittest I discussed before when I released that as my first single. But Accidental Citizen was actually written the same time, just before Survival of the Fittest. And I was listening to a lot of late 70s John Scofield stuff, and really, really enjoying listening to his playing, as I always do. And I was really inspired by that whole warm kind of 70s sound. So I had that in mind when I wrote Accidental Citizen, and it's a bossa nova with a nice kind of memorable melody. I wanted it to be very singable melody, so I came up with that very kind of anthemic melody. And actually, the working title for the track was originally Secret Agent, because there were the use of certain harmony and the melody reminded me of almost like some of the sort of James Bond soundtracks, certainly from the 70s or earlier. And so the working title was Secret Agent, but then that day I came up with coined the phrase Accidental Citizen. It was a no-brainer that was going to be the name of the track. And it's the first track that we used LGS on the drums, and he did a fantastic job of drumming duties on that tune. And the rest of the lineup was the usual Thiago Ueda playing some beautiful Rhodes, and Diogo Bossa doing his usual great job on bass, with some beautiful solos by everyone. We actually managed to record this track in late April while everything was pretty much a quarantine situation. I was able to get to the studio with Elton so that we could do the guitars and the drums at Trezor with Alex, and then Burka and Thiago recorded from their own home studios to add their parts. And then obviously those two tracks were decided to put on the album as a bonus extra couple of tracks. So they're very poignant tracks, I think, because as I say, they signify a time of anxiety. At that time they didn't really know what was going on in this pandemic in the world. And you know, frontiers had closed, borders had closed, airlines weren't flying, so it was you know, a case of you're here, so get on with it and do something productive with your time. And I certainly like to think that is the case with the track here. So, well, it is my final day in London, and draws to, you know, the end of an elongated chapter in my life. And I hasten to add, even despite the pandemic, it's been a very productive and happy chapter in my life. So I have wonderful little London, my friends and the people of this lovely city to thank for that. So next time I speak to you, I'll be in a different country. See you later.